Hi, good people.
Hello, guys.
Welcome to She Speaks Sacred.
Where her voice becomes a sacred right.
She Speaks.
We listen.
Spirit moves. I'm Wambui Mukunda.
And I am Zanele. Glorifying suffering. Yeah?
Ooh.
Is it an African thing or do you think it's a religious thing? Where I'm coming from and where I'm looking at, I think it's more of how we were groomed by religion. We were raised into thinking that suffering has the best reward ever. You suffer on this earth, you have a seat of gold in heaven. So it has become embedded in us such that people don't want to associate themselves with riches, with good lives, because they think that they won't make it to heaven. Do you feel like it's a religious thing or it's coming from a point of religion? Or do you think it's just us as African people who are so used to struggles and making them the best of the best life that you can have?
For me, I think it's a religion thing, considering we grew up Christians, where we had literal scriptures quoting on how when you suffer, you're going to receive a reward on that. So we grew up with that we needed to toil, we needed to work extra hard, we needed to suffer for us to be able to live a good life. For me, I believe that heaven and hell are on this earth. If you do good, you receive good. If you do evil, you receive evil. So here on earth, there's no other place that you're going to get that. And the moment you're good on this earth, even in the other world, when you go to the other world, you'll also be treated in a good way. You'll pay for the karma that you received on this earth. So I think religion brought us in a way that it instilled so much fear in us, so much that we needed to suffer and go through the worst for us to be able to make it and live a good life. Whereas in African culture, it was more on you would receive instant rewards for your goodness, where they had celebrations, they had parties happening once in a while, where people lived a good life. There was time to work and there was time to reap the harvest. They had a very good distinction on that. But in this culture where we have where you are working each and every day, and especially for women, you're not supposed to be working the same cycle as men, because as we go through the monthly, and we are baby girls. First of all, we should be receiving the soft life in this world.
Men are letting us down.
the men, please pull up your socks. So I think it was more a religious thing as we were growing up, that we needed to suffer. It was suffering, actually.
And I like the way that how you pointed out that there was time for working and time for harvesting. Because in our African traditions, people used to toil in the farms, they work, and then during harvest, that is when they will brew the alcohol, they will have their traditional beers, the whole village will come and celebrate. But nowadays, do you even see people celebrate? Unless, some men really take care of themselves by saying, Friday nights are mine and the boys. I'll go out and celebrate. But for us as women, you often hear a man saying, who will the child be left with if you are joining me to celebrate?
Imagine.
If you are joining, so for you as a woman, you need to suffer your whole life, raise these children. When do you enjoy or reap the fruits of your labor? There's absolutely no time. And also the society that we live in nowadays, it forces us to work. If you don't work, you will not eat. We don't live in the setup which our forefathers used to live, the villages, where there were seasons for farming, seasons for rest. There's nothing going on in the farm, and people would just be eating their harvest and celebrating and drinking and having a good time. Nowadays, it's always a season of work. So I think we need to get away from the fact that suffering will have a reward. And unless people move away from religion to spirituality, it would be very difficult. I always feel bad for my dad, because that man used to work so hard for everybody, but there's not a single day where I saw him just having a good time and enjoying the work, of his hands, or he's reaping his fruits. And to me, that really hurts me, because he died without seeing him enjoying. And he always had those wishes of traveling, of doing, but he never got a chance to do it. So as we are living our lives, we should remember that we are here temporarily, and you're probably never going to have a chance to be on this earth. So reap those fruits, celebrate, enjoy, I mean, how do you like to celebrate your fruits, your working hard?
Me, I love a good party. I love treating myself to a good meal. I love meeting with friends, having a good time, buying myself a gift for the good work that I've done. And speaking of men, I say I like living like men, because men, they always make their work easier. Let me tell you, they don't care what's happening with everybody else.
It's about him and him.
Yes, as long as he's okay, the rest of you will come in later. And men, we live in a patriarchal society where they're always inventing things to make their work easier. Women are here toiling, working hard, suffering. The man will go invent a machine that will make his work easier. He will go and create a solution that will make his work easier. I think as women, we need to embrace taking care of ourselves, resting. And resting is not a sin, as we said in the other videos. Take time to yourself. Go to your chama meetings, meet with your friends, enjoy, have a good time, you know, and do whatever makes you happy. Look for hobbies that will make your life easier for you.
Don't glorify suffering.
Please do not, because there are people who like the recognition that, hey, I was able to cook for the whole village. I was able to wash clothes for the whole village. Like, at the end of the day, nobody will remember that. Nobody will remember. They just say, hey, that woman, she looks so tired.
It's true.
She looks so tired. And let me tell you, the moment you start getting tired, your body starts to show. Your skin will show. You'll start becoming ill, developing diseases. For what? Let me tell you, please, women, let's take care of ourselves. Let's continue embracing, resting, and enjoying this life. This life is supposed to be enjoyed. It's not for suffering. Please.
And as we are closing, I love what you said about men inventing. You know, for women, we always find joy in people saying, you know, she washes the clothes for her husband. She does everything for the husband. Yes, they might praise you, but what happens when you're in your bedroom tired and not serving, you know, your womanly duties, not having that enough energy to pour into others? It becomes a problem because yes, they might praise you, but what about you? Can you praise yourself for the decisions that you have made for your body, for your life, for your rest? For the future, we live once and this life is not guaranteed. Tomorrow might not be guaranteed. So guys, we want to close it here. Please let us know, do you glorify suffering, or do you take time for yourself and rest and enjoy and have a good time with family and friends? How do you live your life? How can they support?
Please subscribe, like, share, and comment. And as we're speaking of enjoying life, we have an event coming up. Please, we'll be posting the details as they come along.
Come, let's enjoy.
Yes, please. Bye-bye.